I welcome all of you back to my channel Learning with Faraz. As we are continuing the Python series, this is going to be the next uh, next topic that we are going to start in our collection type. If you know, in the previous video I have talked about tuples in Python. If you don't know what are tuples in Python, I recommend you go back and watch that part first. Now in this video we are going to start the next topic in sequence type, that is our list. And see here, the types have been ordered type and there's going to be unordered type. When I talk about sequences or order type, that means I can apply slice operator onto that. I can apply slice operator to access particular elements, as you have seen in the tuples video. So again, list is also a sequence ordered type. A list is an ordered sequence of 0 or more objects. One thing unique about list is they are mutable. We have studied tuples, we have studied strings. They are immutable in Python. That means you cannot replace or change the elements into it. But you cannot change, remove or delete or replace the elements into it. But when I am talking about list, they are mutable, and that is the thing that makes them very much important than other collection types. So lists are very much useful, and they are they are mutable. Lists are mutable types. That means if I have a list, I can replace, delete or add the elements into my original list. It will change the original list itself. So you have to understand that part as well. So I hope you understood. List is a sequence ordered data and it is mutable as well. Let us move forward. How can you create the list? Again, you can use list method, that is inbuilt function. You can use literals as well. But for a list, there is one speciality. There is a third method that is special for list and set, that is called as comprehensions. So with the help of comprehensions, we can also create a list. First method is your list inbuilt function. Second is your literals, using literals. Third is your comprehensions. And these comprehensions are very much interesting, and they're gonna make your code very easy. Your complicated code will be converted into a easy single line code. That's what comprehensions are. When I come to that, I will explain you it in a better manner. Now let me start with the first thing. I want to explain you one thing here. It is this there is one operator called as multiplication, right? The multiplication operator is this one, is also called as unpacking operator. Now what is that thing that makes is unpacking or multiplication? If I use it with a single, if I use it as if it is a unary, then is if I have only single list name or variable with it, it will be considered as an unpacking operator. If I have two, it is if it is a binary, then it is a multiplication by default, right? So here it is, we are going to use it as a unary operator. That means it is going to have a single variable or list name beside or after it. So that is where it is called as an unpacking operator. So how to use this in terms of a list? See, what we can do is, you can pass your list to a function. See, we are moving as we move forward, we are going into the topics that are a little bit intermediate level. So I want you to focus on this. Basically, we are going to move on to the functions now. I will give you a brief idea for now. However, detailed videos are coming forward. Now, what we do is, in order to create a function, see, what is a function? Try to understand that first. A function is something which will take our input. If you are providing it, it will perform some operation and it will give you the result. Function, some work it will do for you. We write that function. We call them as custom functions. So functions, they are built-in function. Built-in means which are already written, you are just using it. Custom means you are writing it and you are using it, or you are creating your own package kind of thing or module kind of thing so that other developers can use. Custom means you are going to make your own function. So in order to make a function in Python, you will use a keyword definition. Basically, you will take a space and write a function name, and that function name should be lowercase. Please remember it. You have to take the function name as lowercase, that is preferable. Open and close the parenthesis, then you will take the colon. And if you want, you can take the code that you want to implement there, you can return the value. What I am doing is, I am going to pass a function To a function I'm going to pass a list. I want, for example, I have the marks of a student, I want the totaling. I can use this process of using a method and the unpacking operator. See how I'm gonna do. First thing first, I want to if I want the total of the marks, I will just add them. So I will write the function def total marks, open the parenthesis. In that I want marks of 3 subjects. I will take subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, close it, colon, inside I'm going to return the addition of all these 3 things. So it is going to return subject 1, sub 1 plus sub 2 plus sub 3. First you will create your functions. In Python, remember one thing, whenever you create a function, when you end this function, you have to give 2 lines of space, then you have to continue your code. That is the convention that you have to use here. So in the next line, what I will do is, it's like marks is equal to, in one I got 80, 85, 90, I got 3 marks, 3 subject marks I got. Now I want the sum of this. I know I can find it, but dynamically it will be helpful for me. So what I will do is, I will write the function name, that is total marks, open that bracket, I will pass that list into that function and close it. But if you do this, you will get an error. To avoid this, we have to unpack the list. So there we will use this unpacking operator before the name of the list, like star marks into that function. So that is going to return to you the addition of all the marks that you are getting. That is your unpacking operator when it comes to list. I hope you understood this. Now let us move forward with list. I told you something about list comprehensions. That is what I am going to start here for now. Now try to understand this here. What is comprehension? What is a list comprehension? A list comprehension is an expression and a loop with an optional condition. That is a definition of a list comprehension. So what basically we will do with that is, we will create our list with the help of a loop. You know, loop is going to help us to generate our list, and there will be some condition that will filter what element should be there in our list. So that is what list comprehensions are. The syntax of list comprehension is, you will take any variable name. For example, I am taking x, you will write for loop, or you will write for loop for that same x in range. You know, range function take 2 values, starting and ending. I am putting 0 here, 10, you can put any values. So this became your first phase, your expression this is your loop. Next is your condition. This is optional for you. If you leave it right here, what you will get numbers from 0 to 9 in your list. Try to understand. But I don't want all the numbers from 0 to 9. I just want even numbers. I can add the condition forward. I can write if that x modulus 2 is equal to 0. If that condition is true, then only it is going to add in our list. Otherwise it is going to ignore. So this is going to generate 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. That is what list comprehensions are. So now let us start the implementation part. I told you list can be created using 3 methods. I told you that in our explanation part. The first way is using list method. The second way is using list literals. The third method is using list comprehensions. So these are the 3 methods that can be used to create a list in Python, right? So we will do this one by one, and finally after this I'll explain you what are list methods. We will discuss certain things on list methods, and one more thing is left. We will talk about unpacking operator as well, right? So let us start this one by one. Okay, so first I'll explain you this, then I'll tell you this second one, then I'll explain you this unpacking operator, so I'll take it as third one, then I'll explain you comprehensions as fourth, and list methods as the last concept. So let me just arrange these topics for today. So these are our topics, right? We will discuss them one by one. So let us start implementing this. So I'll start let's start with this one, using list method. So in order to use the list method, you will take any list name. So I will write numbers here, for example, is equal to. So for list, always you will use square brackets, as I told you. But now this method will be used, this square brackets will be used only when you are using second method or fourth method. Otherwise you will not use this. So what we will do, we will remove this. We will take list function, open and close the bracket. Now this list function is going to take an iterable. As you can see here, it says iterable, right? So I can take here a tuple name or a range. I will show you the range example since we have not seen that. Range, I told you again, will take two parameters. The first is the starting number, the second is the ending number, and it will move from starting till end minus 1. So it will go from 0 to 9. So let us see that. So I am creating my list using the first list method. So I'm gonna print numbers. I'm gonna save it and run. So you can see here I got from 0 to 9 using, I got numbers from 0 to 9 using range function, right? So using list method, inside that I am passing the range function. I hope you got it. It's not compulsory that you have to pass range. You can also pass your tuple as well. You can pass a tuple into the list. For your understanding, I will explain you with a simple example. Tuple t is equal to, tuple will always be in parenthesis. I'll take John, I'll take 3.14, I will take 2, so comma, I'll take 2. After every comma, try to put a space for cleaner code, right? So I've done this. Now I will pass, I'll create a list called as list by tuple. I'm just giving it a name, no, don't worry about this. So again I will call list method. In this method I will pass that t, right? So it's saying something, let's say this. Yeah, no worries, don't worry. If I put this, it is gonna remove, don't worry about that. So let me print my list by tuple, list by tuple. So hopefully my tuple got converted into list. You can see these are the list square brackets. So this is how you're gonna use list method. There are some other ways. So hopefully you understood this. Now let us move on to the next thing. Next, what is our next thing? How to create list using literals. That's very easy. It's like this only, but instead of this I'll take square brackets. So let me just take again list literal equal to, I'll take square brackets. You take the values that you want. I want to take some marks, 85, 90, 82. I want to take space. So this is what the literal method is. You directly use this square brackets. Inside that you put your values statically. That is your literal method, right? I hope you understood this. No need of going into much detail about that. Now let us move forward on to the next thing. The next thing is unpacking operator. Now let me just give you something, tell you something about unpacking operator. Unpacking operator is actually multiplication, but we have to know when it is called unpacking operator and when it is called multiplication operator. You have to understand that, right? So I will give you one simple example. If this is used as a unary operator, unary means with this operator I'm having only single variable like x. This is now, if it is having single variable, this will become unary. Once this become unary, it will be called as unpacking. If I'm making it as binary operator, like I'm taking x into y, then it is automatically called as multiplication operator. I hope you got this point first. Since we are not doing any multiplications here, we have to use unary operator like this. Now for what purpose this unpacking, I told you, unpacking operator, as name indicates, it is used to unpack a list. It is going to unpack a list. How we gonna I am gonna show you with the help of an example. So let us move forward. Now let's what I want to do is I want to pass this list literal to a function. So first of all I will create a function def. So I'm what I want is, I want this function to return the average mark, right? So it's gonna take marks, right? It's gonna take 3 marks. If I'm giving 3 marks, I'll take A, B, C. So if you want to avoid to improve readability, subject 1 comma space subject 2 comma space subject 3, I'm gonna put the colon, and there we go, our function starts here. So nothing much to do here because we have not started functions yet. It's just for your understanding. In list concept we are getting function, so I'm showing here a very basic thing. So it is going to return, what is average, we will divide, it's kind of mean, subject 1 plus subject 2 plus subject 3, right? I will wrap this in parenthesis and I will divide this by 3, right? So this became my function which is going to return the average of this thing that I'm going to provide to it, right? But I don't want to pass the marks with the help of a function. I want to pass the list. If my requirement is I want to pass the list. So what I will do is, see here very carefully, I will write an average mark, in that I will write the list literal name, right? But this is not going to compile because this list is packed. In order to unpack the list, I will just do this. So what this operator will do, see, you can see this here, just now I got that, I don't know, I hope you saw that. See, when I put this and highlight over it, it will say subject 1 subject 1 subject 3, it will map 85 to 1, 90 to 2, 82 to 3. So this is going to return me the average marks. So I'm gonna print and show you the result. Print, and let's see the result. So the average marks are 85.66 and 7. So you got this. I hope you understood this. Is that clear for you? Okay, shall we move forward? That is how you're gonna pass your list that is how you're gonna pass a list to a function using the unpacking operator. So that is what unpacking operator will be useful, and it is not compulsory, that you should write only single line. You can verily write so many lines of code. We will see that in our functions videos, upcoming functions videos. Okay, so we are done with the third point as well. So let us move on to the fourth one, that is list comprehensions, right? I told you what are comprehensions. Comprehensions are expressions with a loop and condition, and this condition is always optional it is, right? You know what is the syntax of this? Again, I am saying you, we are using list here, so this will be inside the square brackets. You will take any for variable name in range start to end. I will write, okay, for z, yeah, not, I hope you can see that. So it will, after comma space, it will return me a list with the numbers from 0 to 50. You can see I got my list, right? But if I want just even numbers, I can write a condition here, if condition. So you know what are even numbers, which are modulus by 2 space, and it gives us answer as 0, right? So if they satisfy this, then only our function is going to work. It will take a value 0, it will mod it by 2. If it is 0, yes, it will put that number in the list. It will take 1, it will do 1 mod 2. If it is 0, it will put here. Since we know 1 is not equal, divided by 2 is not, remainder is not 0, it will ignore that value. So let's see, we got our even numbers list, right? So I can change this name as even list, right? Even list. I hope you got this point. So these are nothing but your list comprehensions, right? So these are list comprehension methods. I hope you got this. You can write any condition here. It's not compulsory that you should write this. You can write any kind of condition here. Even in place of this, you can pass a function, right? I will show you that when I'm gonna write the program for leap year. In leap year program, I'm gonna show you that. That's 14 minutes now. Let us move forward on the next one. That is our last one. Again, the syntax is, let me write this syntax again to avoid confusion. You will take any variable name. You will take for, again variable name. In you will write range. You will give one starting value. You will give one ending value. Sorry, comma. You will give one ending value. So this is a syntax of comprehensions, and they are applicable for sets also. So remember it for now. Okay. Now let us move forward for your list methods. We are going to discuss methods one by one. Let's start with that. So let me consider my this list, or this I want to consider list literal. I'll apply that on my list literal. So I want a copy of this in a form of comment. In the form of comment, I want the copy so that I can verify my results. So list literal dot, the first method you can see here is remove, right? This remove method is going to remove an object at a particular position. See, if I'm selecting this, so I want to remove an object from here. Which one I want to remove? I want to remove 90. So what it is gonna do, let's print this list literal. So it's gonna remove 90, so you'll get your 85 and 82. So you have to specify the element which you want to remove from the list. Is that clear for you? Yeah. So again, I don't want to remove any element. I have to do experiments, so that's why I'm commenting it. So I'll get my original list back, right? So let us do some more methods. List literal dot pop method. Now this pop method is going to remove the element again. So this pop method, if you leave it as it is going to remove the ending element. If you give the index, it will remove the element of that index. If I just keep it like this, the last element is 82, it is going to remove 82. So our list will be 85 and 90. So let us refresh and run. So I got this 85 and 90. If I want to remove the first element, the index of this is 0, so I'll put here 0. So where 85 will be removed, we got 90 and 82. I hope you got that pop method also. Okay, so let me just make the list of the methods. First method was remove method. Second one is our pop method. Third one, let us start with the third one. Let me take a space here. Next, the third one is, list literal dot copy. See, it's very easy. It's gonna just create a copy of your list. No worries about it. It's a self. It's not gonna take anything, right? Self means empty. Self means empty. For now, remember self index, self object. Self means no arguments here. Clear. Again, no arguments. It's gonna empty your list. I'll show you this one. Clear. It's gonna remove every element of your list and it's gonna make it as empty. So that is your clear method. Okay, let us move forward. I hope we are done with clear method. We are also done with copy method. It's very easy, you will understand it. No need of complications there. Let us move forward. List literal dot index method, right? Index method we have. If you want to find the index of a certain means object, I want to find the index of 90. I know the index of 90 is 1. It's 0, it is 1. So I'll get the answer as 1. Since see, I am not printing this, I'll print this. You can see that one here, right? This one, this print statement, this one, 90 is at first position, first index position, I can say, right? So I hope you got this point. Let me just comment it again. So we are done with index. Next one, list literal literal dot. We are done with index, pop, remove, copy, clear, append, right? Append method is very easy. It's gonna add an element at the end. For example, I want to add 89 to this. I'll add 89 here, right? So we got 89 at the end. I hope you understood this method. It's very easy, no need of any complications there. It's very easy method. Let us move on to the next one. I want to remove, okay, I have commented is no worries. Yeah, list literal dot append, index, pop, remove, copy, clear, extend. Now this extend method, see, I will give you one simple thing. Extend method is going to join two lists, or a list and a tuple, right? And a list and a set. It can join two things basically. So I want to join this list with this list. I want to join these two lists, right? So what I'll do is, I will write here first list name. I will put extend. I will write the second list name, that is list by tuple, right? So it will combine these two lists. It will combine this and this. So let us check that. Save and run. See, you can see You can see, I hope we have combined two lists, right? Since I hope you understood this. Again, I will comment this. We have done with extend method as well. Sorry. H list list literal dot extend, append, index, pop, remove, count, reverse. Reverse method is there. I know you got it. It's gonna just change the elements of the list. Yeah, it was 82 last, it made it as first, 90 middle, 85 first, 85 became last. I hope you're getting this point as well. So these are the methods. Your reverse method is there. I hope you're getting these methods. Any other methods left? Let's check it. And I'm gonna just do this and list literal dot. We are done with all the methods. Yeah, we are done with all the methods. There is one method left called as sort methods. It's gonna sort your elements. It's gonna take a function as its argument. When I will explain you functions, I will explain you this in detail. For now, just remember how it's gonna work. Yes, it has sorted our list, right? You can see from ascending to descending, it has sorted. If you there is one key here, reverse. If you put it as true, it will sort in descending order, right? If you don't set, if you just remove it, it will automatically become false and it will arrange in ascending order, right? For ascending, keep it as empty. For descending, keep the reverse value as true. I hope you got this point. So this was the last method, that is, so let me take this here. H and ith method was sort method, right? So the extended version of this I will explain you very soon. I'll explain you that very soon. I hope you got this point. Please subscribe to our channel and share this with your friends. It is going to help them a lot, because as we are moving forward, we are very close to object oriented concepts, right? Exception handling, so many concepts are coming. So share this with your friends, and we are again coming to the projects as well. So share this with your friends. Thank you very much for watching this video. Like it if you understood something.